What's new? Republicans are still openly showing their disdain for the everyday American. And a sitting member of Congress got asked on camera how his party plans to fix the cost of living. And his answer made me madder than a goose with generational trauma. And you have Representative Troy Nehls, on the Capitol steps this week getting asked a simple question. How do House Republicans make the case that they are fighting for affordability?
Congressman, real quick, how do House Republicans make the case that you're fighting for affordability when you go back to your districts?
Affordability? What are you talking about?
Well, affordability is the big...
I'm going to go there tomorrow. Over the 4th. I'm going to get me a couple big lobster tails. I'm going to get me some nice ribeyes. I'm going to sit in my backyard with my family, my neighbors. And we're going to be enjoying the 4th, celebrating 250 years, the birthday. We're going to be celebrating the greatest president in my lifetime, Donald J. Trump.
Holy crap, what an answer. And then a second reporter tried again. Can the 60% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck afford that meal? Nehls, quote, maybe not. Maybe the 60% of Americans don't work as hard as I do either. I mean, I don't know.
You think the 60% of Americans who are living paycheck to paycheck can afford lobster tails and ribeyes and all of that?
Maybe not. Maybe the 60% of America don't work as hard as I do either. I mean, I don't know.
And look, just to be clear here, inflation just hit 4.2%, a 3-year high. Gas is still averaging $3.80 a gallon, more than $1 above what it was when the Iranian war started. Ground beef up over 20% in a year. And a record low 33% of Americans approve how the Trump administration is handling the economy. And Nehls, is getting himself a couple of big lobster tails. I'm gonna get me some nice ribeyes. What about you guys? I gotta hear from you. What did your groceries cost this week versus a year ago? Let me know in the comments. Have you had to cut back, or are you just suffering through the increase of your grocery prices? And by the way, Nehls, this guy is a special kind of asshole, because he also floated, same steps, that we should throw a big bed sheet over the Statue of Liberty and swapping her torch for a stop sign as a part of a 10-year immigration ban that he's pushing for. Nehls, by the way, is not running again. He's retiring. And that's important to note because he is fully vested in a congressional pension that is funded by the same paycheck-to-paycheck tax-paying Americans that he says don't work hard enough. So he, no matter what, will still be eating lobster tails and ribeyes on your dime for the rest of his days. While folks like you and me, we're stuck eating off-brand cereal like cinnamon bread squares and Lucky Leprechaun shapes. And that's why I'm going to ask you to hit the subscribe button and the notification icon, because when someone like Nehls tells us who he really is, we should start believing him.